Welcome friends, it's Ray. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today's video is a part of the Card Crafters Collaborative Hop here on YouTube, hosted by Robin Marshall Clark, the Delta Crafter. And our theme today is Summer Sizzle. I will link to the next person in the hop. Be sure to go over and check out their video and show them some love. My cards today are all 5x7 cards. I have placed a piece of cardstock on my Altenew grid mat, and I'm placing my Distress Oxide inks in Saltwater Taffy, Abandoned Coral, and Barn Door on my mat as well. Okay, and so here I am adding my Saltwater Taffy, and then am going to blend in my Abandoned Coral and my Barn Door. And often when blending, you want to start off of the side of your panel so that you don't get harsh lines or harsh areas as you are blending. Started out with all three of my inks on the right side of my grid mat, but that just wasn't working, so I did move them off to the side there. I am speeding this up quite a bit. You can use the gears at the top of your YouTube screen, and you can either speed up or slow down the video to suit your needs. Here I'm using the back side of a sticky note paper so that I don't get my fingerprints all over my inking, my inked panel. Off camera, I ink blended 4 more panels with different inks, and I'll show you those as I go. I'm going to set these aside to let them dry. I've removed the Misty Mouse pad and am bringing in a Flower Market bold print by Hero Arts. It's a background stamp, placing it in my Misty, and then I'm going to spritz that with water and close the door on my Misty and let that set for about 2 minutes. And after those 2 minutes, look at the magic of water. One of the neat properties of oxide inks is that they react with water, and look at that beautiful reaction. I will show you all of the cards I make using these panels at the end of the video. With this rainbow panel, I used picked raspberry, mustard seed, salty ocean, and wilted violet distress inks. When ink blending, I overlapped my picked raspberry and my mustard seed to get my orange, and then blended my yellow and blue to get my green, and then overlapped my violet with my blue. I lightly misted my background panel with water using the exact same technique as my first panel. I've seen many makers use this technique and fell in love with it. And here's a quick look at my next panel, and yes, I am using that same technique of spritzing with water. I used the Hero Arts Country Fair bold print, so this has text and it has more of a mixed media feel. I don't end up using this in a card today, but will use it in a future project, but I did want to show it to you. Now with my fourth panel, I am Using the same technique, but instead of water, I am using my sparkle shimmer spray. And this had such a nice effect. I really like the way this turned out. So this last technique is the same, except I'm using a stencil instead of a rubber background stamp. And I'm bringing in this daisy mosaic stencil that I absolutely love from Hero Arts. I've spritzed my stencil with water, and now I am placing that on top of my inked panel, and then placing some paper towels on top of that. I pressed my paper towels over my stencil. Look at how beautifully this turned out. I have used squeeze lemonade, salvaged patina, and peacock feathers for this blending. All of my cards today are A7 5x7. Okay, so here are the cards that I made with the backgrounds we made in today's video. Really love this saltwater taffy, abandoned coral, and barn door. Really love that. And brought in a hugs sentiment from my stash, stacked it 3 times out of black cardstock, and used a shadow die, and then a butterfly from my stash with vellum on top, and mounted that on foam tape, and then brought in my hugs sentiment. All panels are popped up on foam tape. And this one, the Cosmos, I really like this rainbow background. I offset the happy birthday die cut just a little bit so that you see the hints of black around. I did stack the top piece, or I should say I die cut the top piece 3 times and stacked that for dimension. Added some rhinestones from my stash. I think this one's my favorite. Let me know in the comments which one you like best. And then this card with the mosaic daisies I really love. And who knew that this Simon Says stamp craft glue would it's good for adhering vellum, so that you don't see the adhesive. And I did leave my butterfly. He's mounted, but I left. After die cutting, I colored it with some residual squeeze lemonade ink that was on my brush, and I did on purpose leave my vellum ends unaffixed so that would curl or stand out and create texture. Added some turquoise embellishments and stamped my happy birthday with some Hero Hues white dye ink onto my vellum. And this one is done with a Heavy Doodle, a very old stamp set, Sending You Oceans of Love. And oh, I just love this background. This shimmer spray is really nice. Just colored my narwhal and my stingray with some alcohol markers, and then cut this with an oval die and pop that up on foam tape. So that is it for my cards today. Hope you enjoyed this technique. I wanted to pop in for random thoughts and questions. Why do birds wake up so early? And they start chirping and chirping, and that's all you hear. Then silence when it's time to get up for the day. Use hashtag RTQ if you comment below about this random thought and question. I've listed all details below so that you can check out the other crafty YouTubers in this video hop. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you liked the video, and will talk to me in the comments. Subscribe if not already a subscriber, and give me a thumbs up. Good day, friends.